doing? I'm Charlie Anteby. This episode is being filmed on Thursday night. That would be the 28th of December. We're going to show this episode for Friday, the 29th of December, 2023. So obviously we're nearing into on New Year's Eve over here. I want to talk to the people about life choices. I want to talk about our relationship with money, with earnings, with career, with funding, with assets, with financial security. These are things, and we've been through now some years. How many years? A lot of years. We're sitting here a lot of years, so we saw what we did when we were 12, 15, 18, 22, 42, 62. Everybody's getting a look at, I'm hearing from people. I'm hearing from people that I knew somewhere along the line in life. I knew a girl, she worked in the garment center. She was a children's wear person. And I'm watching her for the last 20 years between LinkedIn and other social media and back and forth. And now she moved to another state. She's in South Carolina. I heard recently from a woman, as I mentioned, in Miami, who I knew, who worked in New York, who had a job, who was a very cool person, raised in Brooklyn. I'm hearing from men. I see men that had gigantic stores. I see men that had nice wholesale businesses. I see men that... And everybody has had to shift. And some of the young people, they're doing great. But when you get the inside look, sometimes they're not doing that great. And some of the middle-aged people, they're doing fantastic, till they, the story comes pouring out, whether it's by them, by somebody else. Choices got to be made. Young people need to be informed. They need to have a clear understanding of what they're going into. We can't send them in blind. We can't send them in with the school education that they're getting in the yeshiva. We have to send them in with the real chokhmas. We got to send them in with the facts. We got to send them in with the knowledge. We got to share what we learned. And if we don't know it, we got to find somebody to sit down and share it with them. We pay $94 an hour for tutors and who knows what. We got to share the information. There's a kind of life, and that life includes collateral and leveraging and turning. I turned 7 times. I turned 22 times. I turned 6 times. I turned 4 times. I have this much in the cycle. It's going around. I have notes that are coming due. I have letters of credits. I have accounts receivable. There's these people that, if they're worth, for example, $1 million, you're worth $1 million. How are you worth $1 million? Because if you add up all the shinola and everything you got going on, there's 10 million. And if you look at what you owe, that's 9 million. And somewhere there's $1 million left on the piece of paper, and you say, oh, I'm worth $1 million. Okay. And the same goes for if I'm worth $1 billion, I'm worth 4 billion, 2 billion, 6 billion, 10 billion. It's all the same. People have these situations that they get themselves into that you can't do. You couldn't do it on purpose, but you're there on by accident. It finds its way into your life, and decisions get made, and they put you in a position, and positions get made. And then there's the component of what your relationship is with livelihood, with money, with income, with everything, that has to do with, how's my day? What do I do? How am I doing? Do I get on a bus at 7:02 in the morning, and I get off at 9:15 in the morning, and then I get back on the bus at 5:38 at night, and I get home at 8:15? You really want to do that 5 days a week? How many hours is that? How many waking hours do we have in the first place to go spend 4.5, 5 of them on a bus? Yeah, but I play cards with the boys. Yeah, but we suddenly on the bus, we save AFL. Yeah, but we this. Oh, I do a lot of work on the bus. I take my laptop. Okay. I don't want to sit on no bus, personally. if I could help it. I don't want to sit in traffic. I don't want to sit on line for the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. I don't want to sit on line for the Holland Tunnel. I don't want to be driving high speeds on highways to get to work every day, 64 miles this way and 64 miles home. There's a lot going on here. Lot to be said. And by the way, I don't want to owe out $4 million and only and have $5 million in assets to see where my million is. I don't want to do that either, because when you go to liquidate the 5, and you're paying all of the 4, but are you getting all of the 5? So there's something called simplicity, and simplicity has a value to it. And if you want to have that value in your life, then maybe you got to pay for the value. Value is something you pay for. And how do you pay for it? Maybe by striving for less, or maybe by building a better model. So what I'm going to say now, because this is a show that's a very all over the place again, is there's a time to earn when you're young, but it's also a time to learn. Because what you learn is what's going to sustain you as much as what you earn is going to sustain you. Plenty of people earned and they're not sustained. Plenty of people learned and somehow they're at least dealing with all the changes. We're living in a world where the floor is shifting every minute. You think you're standing and the floor is moving. You're falling over this way. You're falling over that way. It's a mess. For some people, it's a mess. Guy spends years, decades building what they're building. Boom. The tide turns on them. I don't want to give examples because they'll sound too specific to individuals, and that's not what we're about over here. All I'm saying is you got to sit down with your kid, you got to create the curiosity, then you got to wait for the questions, then you got to answer the questions. And that's how you send them into the world. Okay? If my father did nothing else, which God bless him, he did many, many, many things for me. What he did was every day he picked me up by the back of my shirt and the back of my pants, and he threw me into the snake pit, into the lion's den, into the gorilla cage. Every day, and then he stood there at the railing, looking down. How's my son Charlie going to get out of this one today? From the age of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, used to send me into landlords. Oh, the light looks like it's on the 4th floor, honey, go. Ring the bell, see if the guy is there, because there's a sign that says for rent. And the sign, the guy's asking $6,000 for the floor. How many square feet? I don't know, whatever it was. See if he'll take $1,200 a month. I told her, the guy's asking $6,000. Dad, what do you want? He could ask what he wants, he tells me. Okay, he threw me out there. Okay, my father sent me into freaking the drugstore. The drugstore, CVS, Dwayne Reed, there's a cashier. She had nothing about nothing. And I'm sitting there bargaining with her because trying to make a deal because my father's waiting in the car. He wants to know how I did. Could you work with me? I'm already working here, she tells me. I'm trying to tell her, could you work with me on the price? But that's how I got unbashful. That's how I lost my shyness. And I got some of my chutzpah, I guess. I don't know what I got. My confidence, my comfort to go do business. I don't care what they're asking. He yelled at me that night. He could ask whatever the hell he wants, and I could offer what I want. He wanted to make sure that lesson I learned. But he taught me not dozens, hundreds of lessons. And today I sit here in an economy that I don't so clearly understand, and I don't have every skill set. But I have a very comfortable day, very comfortable life. I want to go walk around the lake a couple of times, I do it. I want to eat, I just peeled an apple, and you know what I put on the apple? I put beautiful cashew butter on the apple. I spread it very thin. I have a little bit of it, okay? With a gorgeous cup of tea. And this is what goes on here all day. I eat healthy, I eat clean, I eat in my own home. I conduct business with who I want to. If they're not nice, I don't want to conduct business with them. If that's going to affect my income, let it be affected. I was taught how to get anything I need at the price I need to pay for it and work things out and have the workaround and get it to happen. I'm not stressed out. I'm not living with bad karma. I'm not living with any of these pressures. Okay? The number one goal in life is to live, not die. I'll leave you on that note for now. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Sunday night for the Monday episodes.